Well, I think unplugging is actually a word I've been coining for being here. I've been saying you unplug to reconnect. Well, I think you can't hide from yourself in Darwin. Darwin is somewhere where you're pretty exposed, so you really first have to feel comfortable in yourself. So there's a process of letting go of all those distractions that tie you and put you somewhere else. So unplugging allows me to find myself again after I've been lost in the distraction of mainstream life. So my original job was very much media, film, the kind of non-tangible art. Coming here, I sort of got grounded into the landscape and got inspired by the nature that was around me. I like to do step and repeat. So I love the rust, I love entropy, I love the way the passage of time changes things. Infinity mirrors. And I went, oh, I really love that mirror thing. Oh, I remember, I love kaleidoscopes. Wouldn't it be fun to get an old rusty something that looks like nothing and then you're looking in this completely different world. So that was how it started. So the show Into Copa, so my work is actually not just the kaleidoscopes, it's basically any of the art that was inspired by Darwin. So it has a lot of rust that's there. If you look in the far corner, you'll see the whole pile of rusty cans. I've been very inspired by rusty cans. That was my first turning point from going from the ethereal media to real things. I work with the can. Then you'll see there's some examples of my rusty can art on the wall. Yeah, Pierre was an amazing addition to my life. I mean, I've always been, you could just put me in a room with my art or just stones and rocks and I don't need anyone and I'm happy to be in that space. And Pierre quite liked to be left alone, so we both like our space, and I think, and he encourages me to be the best that I can, and I think true love is to allow each other to do what they want to do.
Raven can tell you everything you want to know. Oh, Raven's job is never done. No, unplugging is good. No cell service, no TV, stars, amazing sunrise, amazing sunset, quiet, nice walks. Amazing to find such noisy neighbors. The ravens are my friends. When you realize how ancient that you're looking at, the landscape you're looking at is, you feel remarkably small, but amazingly amazed because you're part of it. And I think it's humbling. It makes you look at what we think is important as merely moments in the universe. And you get to learn about, when you spend time, the wildlife, like the ravens here. But it's wonderful to recharge, to be inspired, gets in your soul. Appreciation for the nature, and wanting to protect the open space. This is really a place to renew yourself. If you don't like yourself very much, you should probably pick another place because you get left with yourself here. Which is also a good thing, because you can go and reflect on if something is bothering you. And you can leave it in a place like the labyrinth. A lot of people do that. And that's why there's all those rocks piled in the middle. People have picked up something that they want to let go of, release. It's so interesting to see what people leave there. And they'll walk the labyrinth and be mindful in your twists and turns and get to the center and leave your troubles.
I think it's a self-selected group of folks who want to be in a place with so much openness and stillness around them. And so I think the work that folks out here do shows that. You have folks like me who are trying to preserve the qualities that draw other people here, and enjoy them myself. There's no greater joy than when folks come to visit me and we can just go wandering around somewhere it's really less about the immediate gratification than it is about just being present. Like I was saying, not so much the destination, but the journey. You know, you sort of have to enjoy the journey in the desert. I mean, I feel like as we get older, we get a little bit more set in our ways and our comfort zones and what sort of seems right. I don't think I could live in a big city at this point in my life, probably, but I don't know. I mean, I've been spoiled rotten. You know, ever since I did that internship with the Student Conservation Association, I've mostly done conservation-oriented jobs or woven conservation into the jobs that I had. I want to be able to provide that for other folks, so for the interns and the work crews that we have here, I want to be able to give them that time and that space and that ability to sort of intimately understand the desert. They're not necessarily tent camping, but they're spending time out here in a way that hopefully impacts them in a positive way somehow as they go on with their lives.
Well, it's one of the satisfying things about it is that every day at the end of the day, you see something you've done. You see physical proof of your work. You see a X number of trees pollinated, or so much land cleared, or irrigation pipes repaired. You can say, okay, today I accomplished that. And a lot of that is how motivated are you to do it yourself, because there's nobody, at least in my position, there's nobody driving me. You know, I have to just decide what's going to get done and then do it. You know, the follow through is a critical thing. And so, yeah, we operate under a conservation easement, the Nature Conservancy, where we have agreed not to, this is an important ecological niche, and we kind of do our business with an awareness that that's part of what we're going to do here. You know, so there are land set aside that will stay wild, and other land that we're farming, and of timelessness out here that, regardless of human endeavor, go on. You know, and surrounded by this geology that you can see and touch that we know is, in some cases, 1 billion years old. It predates multicellular life, and it's still sitting there. And when I'm gone and we're gone, it will go on. This landscape looks the same as when Kit Carson and John Fremont came through here. It looks about the same as when Jesus was walking around in the Holy Land. So this sense of timelessness and continuity, yeah, for me, that's sort of the overarching thing, that whatever I do or don't do just isn't that important. It's just not. You know?
And our theater here with Teatro El Grande, that's our project, it's like a magic carpet. Basically, it comes when the show comes and it flies away when the show is done. So it's extraordinarily special, you know, all of it. Once the show is happening, we finally have a stage, we're finally all together, we finally have a theater and an audience, and it's such a blast out of a cannon. That's what it really feels like. So tonight, it's a mixture of all 3 shows, all put together. Well, I have 2 young thespians, Sam and Patty, who have become lead parts, I should say, along with me. They really help carry the show on, or the story along. And we have Terrapan Jim, who plays the handpan, and we have another Jim who plays bass, and who also is who helps me pitch the tents and set up the stage and the theater. Everyone helps out, yeah, so much, yeah. I'd have to say, every time my eye catches the horizon, it takes my breath away. And I miss that immediately when I go back to the city, any city. The smell of the land after the rain, it's there's something so deep about it. How can I say? I felt like I've lived here before. It's all I can say.